Greetings, this is Fred Barstein, CEO and founder of TPSU. Just completed a program here on the University of South Florida in Tampa. I am here with Gary. Welcome, Gary.
Thank you.
Okay, if we ask you a few questions.
Absolutely.
Okay. Before we do, tell our audience a little bit about yourself and your organization.
Sure. As you noted, my name is Gary. I'm in a role as a senior HR advisor and HR director for a small firm, under 100 employees, and we do psychological services, direct patient care delivery.
Great. One of the things you talked about that really caught my attention was you have lots of communication with your employees in different ways. Can you explain what you do?
Sure. There's a number of things that came out and really developed in the group presentation, group meeting that we did over the working lunch, which was a great program. And the communications breadth is really what came across. Getting plan information and getting contact points with employees at multiple things that you wouldn't necessarily think of. So we talked about how you can do that through recruiting, starting off in terms of where you describe your benefits plan and talk about the value that 401k can bring and enhancing your recruiting content. And then also recognizing that even when you have people coming and first become eligible, that you take advantage of making a personal contact, reminding them that they're going to think about health insurance, but they shouldn't forget about their financial insurance, so to speak, and the financial value that a 401k plan brings, or even a 403b if they're in that plan.
Sure.
And bringing it along. So that personal contact and enrollment, and then tying it with open enrollment was really an idea that I won't take credit for. Someone in my group said, look, we make sure that we put it into our open enrollment brochure. And I drove my insurance, and the person said that, I drove my insurance broker nuts because I wanted to add these pages at the back of the brochure. They think it's all about their benefits. Well, it's all about my benefits.
Right.
And so communicating with the employees, these multiple touch points. The other point that one I came across is one that you hear, and again, someone else in my group put it forth and said, don't forget the annual escalation clauses that come through from the IRS. They get announced and they get press around the announcement. You see the announcement. And what I've done is, this person said, what they've done is taken that announcement and use it as a reminder to say, let's make sure I tell my employees about it too. So there's another contact point. So it becomes 4 or 5 distinct contact points that occur both in the life cycle of the employee and the life cycle of an annual run through the calendar year.
Constant communication. That's great. Final question, a couple of things you learned here. Would you recommend the program?
Sure. I think the takeaways here for me today, and this, by the way, is I'm happy to tell you and those who are watching, it's the third time I've come to a program with you, and I appreciate it very much. And I always say I come for the credits, but it's a takeaway. So the takeaway for me was the interaction, and I found today's working lunch program much more valuable than I had previously. And I was thinking, I don't know where it ran, but this was a dynamic experience with hearing. And what worked and was really smart was putting us together with like-sized companies and like-sized people in terms of our challenges.
Right.
So we were able to talk about our providers. We were able to talk about our communication problems and successes. We were able to talk about the advisors and the component pieces that run together and the record keepers. So one of those takeaways today for me is really important is that sense of being able to put a total evaluation of my plan. What have I got? Because I have a newer plan and I'm thinking about how I'm running that as an HR department of one.
Right.
So that's a huge takeaway. The other is the awareness about reaffirming, which is a reason I came. And it's really reaffirming what I think I know. Because there's always that big block of you don't know what you don't know, and then you think you know what you know. So affirming what I know is really important, and it's certainly delivered in that today.
Very good. So thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time, and I thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for watching 401k TV. Please stay tuned.